Stadium. Welcome to Darwin. It is the second week in the NTFL final series here, and in front of us, the minor premiers Southern Districts to take on Wanderers, of course, who won the grand final last year. Jared Eilert with me. Jared, this is what you want, don't you?
Absolutely, and we expect a big crowd tonight. There's a storm brewing in the background. Hopefully it can hold off. But I think there is some big name players, big game players that are going to tear this game apart tonight. Really looking forward to it.
Well, Wanderers have just been terrific last year, and they won the grand final. They swept all the finals matches before them. This is a whole different task for them, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. When you look at players like Will Farah, Jared Brennan, Keegan Dingo, Matthew Rosier for Southern Districts, and the Motlop factor for Wanderers. Plus you got Braden McLean, Daniel Wheatra, and Nathan Jakura. So really looking forward to this game.
It should be a terrific game. I'm not going enough to make a pick. I don't think Jared is either, but the game not that far away. Out onto the field. Well, they're out there. Sudden Districts are out there. They've got their arms around each other. Wanderers are still having a little bit of a kick at the other end of the ground.
Yeah, they're coming to their captains now for the final talk, but most of the work is done up until this point. Just a matter who can settle first. And over the last few weeks, I've been really impressed with Wanderers' spread. They use every inch of grass on that field to spread their opposition. They've got good skills and got good work rate. On the Southern District side of things, they've just been business-like all season. They've been really working pretty hard to set this opportunity up, and of course, whoever wins goes through to the grand final.
That's right. The prize is the opportunity to play for the grand final, and we know who the loser has to line up against next week, because St Mary's did a job on Nightcliff today, beat them by 40 points in the end, 13-14 to Nightcliff, 6 goals, 16. Would you believe that? Nightcliff kicked 6-16. We were critical of Saints last week when they were beaten by the Eagles, when they kicked 7-14, but they certainly straightened it up today. St Mary's, led by Darren Ewing, kicked 5 goals for them. Peter McFarlane kicked a couple as well, but they certainly had the measure of Nightcliff after half-time and ran away with the game.
Yeah, look, St Mary's were obviously better for the run last week. Most of their players didn't play in the last minor round against Waratahs, but yes, they were inaccurate and undisciplined last week. They were able to change that around. Nightcliff would be kicking themselves, I suppose. They're certainly in the game for all 4 quarters, and a little bit of errant kicking. The score could have been a lot closer.
And in the women's prelims, they had 2 of those today. Wanderers beat Tracy Village by a goal. Tars beat Palmerston by a goal. So identical margins there. So Wanderers take on Waratah in the grand final next week, which is on preliminary final day. It's a game we will share with viewers on our YouTube channel as the game before next week's match between the loser of this game and St Mary's.
Yeah, well, there's across the board, Charlie, the finals are shaping up to be pretty close in every grade for men and women, and I guess that's what we expected. We expected a Waratahs Wanderers women's grand final. That's what we got, but it wasn't as close. It wasn't as far in front. The gap wasn't as far as front as what we probably expected.
The margin, we're lucky we didn't have to pick it. Who's going to win here and why?
Yeah, look, I think Southern Districts. I think they've just been prepping all season for this opportunity. I think they've been well disciplined. They've got a lot of experience out there, and AFL experience, and they're ready to go.
John O'Miles in the ruck for the Eagles. James Wall will ruck for Southern Districts. Important to get clearances out of the middle. Important to get them earlier on. First tap down by Wanderers, little tap straight into the hands there of Jared Erlinson. He got a kick away. It wasn't directed anywhere in particular, just down in towards the Wanderers forward line. Eagles get there first. So pace is what everyone says. Wanderers have plenty of it. They might be able to expose Southern Districts today. Here's the kick down towards the pocket, rolls away out there in front of Cale Barker and out over the boundary line.
Yeah, absolutely right, Charlie. Pace is certainly one of Wanderers' strengths. But they also play some exciting football, which brings in their crowd. They've got one of the biggest followings in the NTFL competition, and it almost acts like an extra player for them.
So throw in here. So Shannon Rusker coaches Southern Districts. Dean Rioli has the Eagles. Kick comes out of the defence by Southern Districts out towards the half-back line. On the charge for the footy, Nathan Jakura couldn't pick it up. Southern Districts win it. Come off the half-back line, out along the wing. Kick wasn't directed pretty well, and Tommy Motlop cuts it off in front there of Christian Paper Talk. So the Eagles can build from here. Here's Erlinson with the kick up towards half forward. VV front position. Went to ground. Ball pushed away from him to the boundary line. And the boundary umpire to throw it in.
And obviously one of the most dangerous players on the field that Wanderers have to be wary of is Will Farah. He's kicked over 100 goals. And what I like early about Daniel Wheatre. He's actually bringing him up the ground to make him work.
They're down there in the forward line for the Southern Districts. Mitchell Taylor back there in defence for Wanderers as well. Ball with a pack of players looking for it. Emerging with it was McLaughlin. Tried to get the kick away out of defence, went to the boundary line and over. Erlinson involved in making sure that got there. So they have it trapped where they want it. Southern Districts up on their half-forward line.
We must say, Charlie, Mitch Taylor plays his 100th game. He led the team out through the banner, and there's a few other signs as well. Long-serving veteran defender for Wanderers Football Club.
Oh, he's a great player. He's a good man. Shy man, doesn't talk much. And the sign was just a little, I couldn't read it, Jared. Only you could read it. I think you had binoculars on it. It said, 100 games, Mitch, well done, or something like that. He's to throw it across that half-forward line for Southern Districts. Look at these players. There must be 20 players around that ball, maybe even more. No one can get clear with it. It's going to be that sort of game, I think, pushed out over the boundary line yet again.
And this is what Wanderers do pretty well. I mean, Thomas Motlop has started on the back flank. His direct opponent is Christian Papertalk, who's playing a half-forward flank. But Thomas Motlop has dragged him all the way up the ground and they're out of position. So
there's only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 players forward of almost that defensive 50-metre line at that end of the ground where the football's being held and forced back over the boundary line. I reckon we've had, what, 5 of these, 5 boundary line throw-ins?
Oh, well, we expect this finals footy. We expect no one to give an inch, and it's a bit of an arm wrestle in the early stages.
I used to be a boundary umpire. I'll tell you a story in a minute. Thrown down on the ground. Eagles tried to get away with the handball. Didn't quite work. Southern Districts with the hard run. VV gets there. VV onto the footy. Turns around, kicks it out to his right. A long way out there in front of his teammate who couldn't quite get to it. Might have been Justin Smart. Comes down to the square. And good work in defence. They've cut it off there. Michael Bowden.
And I reckon one of the most dangerous players for Wanderers on their side of things is Justin Smart. He has been a stellar performer for Wanderers this season.
Ball towards the boundary line and carried over again. Back to my boundary umpiring days in the old TIFA competition in front of my mates in the grandstands at Gardens Oval. They said, run backwards, Charlie, so I did, and I fell over right in front of everyone. Oh, well, embarrassing it was.
Have you got mates, Charlie, that come down and watch your umpire, boundary umpire? Okay.
No, they were guys who didn't have anything to do, I don't think. Here's the kick out of a pack. And no, any chance there for Mark, but not able to do it with Bowden. Good hard work there by the busy Justin Smart. Geez, he's been a handy pick-up for the Eagles. Down towards half-forward. Eagles looking for Joel Cabillo. High for the footy. Gets it. So they have it at 50. The Eagles are doing all the attacking here. They need to be rewarded with some early goals as we tick past 4 minutes. He's not sure where to go. He might just have to pop it up and hope, I reckon. I think that's what he's going to do. He's given it plenty. He's given it a roost. He's given it a big roost right to the line. Off hands through for a minor score. Went long with it. He was worried that he couldn't quite make the journey, and his assessment was right.
Yeah, but still, I think early stages, have a crack. You're within the first 5 minutes of the game and get your confidence up. And Jakura now has a shot from the pocket.
Right to the goal line. Eagles mark down here, I reckon, in the opposite pocket.
That's Adam Cook.
We saw him last week, didn't he? Cook in action.
We did. We expect him to feature pretty heavily in the goal scorers, and he chips inside and drops short. Erlinson tackle.
Down your end.
And here's VV looking for it, couldn't pick it up. Thomas Motlop. Thomas gets in some space. He can go for goals. Thomas Motlop on the run, kicks for goal, drifts it right across the face and squeezes it in for a minor score.
That matchup at the moment is just powerful for Wanderers Football Club. Thomas Motlop has dragged his play and he's having shots at goal. He should be on the half-back line, but he's having shots at goal.
Shannon Motlop kicked 3 last week in Wanderers' 10-point win over St Mary's. Cook got a goal in the early in the match, but didn't get any more after that. So they only had the one multiple goal kicker last week at Wanderers. That was Shannon Motlop, and the rest were singles in their 10-goal haul. Throw in here, so they haven't got it anywhere near Southern Districts. Will Farrett the other end of the ground. They'd like to get it there. Wanderers figure they might be able to starve him. Bates did some good work, got it out through Jerome Motlop. Inside 50. Look at this Wanderers work down there. They're just working in great numbers, aren't they? And the kick comes out, strong mark taken there by Braden McLean. for the Eagles, and then he spears it up to full forward, gets right over the top. Cook wanted a bit of it, he couldn't get it. Picked up by Justin Smart, goes for goal. Justin Smart, thank you very much. It had to come. They persevered, and Smart kicked the goal.
Defensive pressure in the forward line, Charlie. They just kept the ball in there. They hunted the football. Southern Districts had to go back. They had to come back the other side. But it's a very smart play by Justin Smart, and Wanderers are dictating the possession at the moment.
So the big ruckman came off, James Wall, swapped with Fred Sleeth. Fred Sleeth goes into the middle. John O'Miles will stay there. I reckon the backup ruckman behind John O'Miles will probably be VV, do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. He will go through at some stage. And having a centre bounce is actually a good thing for Southern Districts because they haven't been able to get the ball over halfway, and this gives them a bit of a head start.
Just far too many players down there. They tried to get the kick away. The Eagles just couldn't get it clear. Jerome Motlop. Now they can win it. Paper took off the outside of the right boot. Cannard in his sights up there. Didn't get it to him. Ball lands on the ground. Districts with a chance to clean it out. Up came Daniel Motlop. Knocked it out in front of him. Bates wanted a bit of it. Couldn't get it. Handball here. Paper Talk gets to it. Gets on his bike. Scoots away. Goes with the right boot. Kicks it out wide. He's got a player parked underneath it. Just couldn't take the mark, Glenn Randall. But the ball comes back in towards Will Farrer. Knocks it to ground. Hard work back here. Wanderers in defence. They have plenty of players around. Brennan gets it on the right boot. Squeeze it out wide. Running player out there. Keelan Fijo sees it towards the boundary line. Good to see our good mate Jared Brennan out there. Haven't seen him for a few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, there's been a passing in the family, so he's been out of action for a little while, working through that. But it's great to see him back at the business end for Southern Districts.
Throw in at the 50. John O'Miles from the back got there high, tapped it down. They've won it. Southern Districts little kick inside 50, and the mark taken down there for the Eagles.
It's really well read there, although bad kick. And William Farrer, he jumps higher than most people on earth, so you need to lift your kicks or give yourself a bit more distance when you go back on the mark.
So here's the kick. Out comes Brennan hard at the foot. He knocks it along in front of him.
Great pick up by Josh Cavillo.
Big Joshy, strong and powerful. He's still having a go in the SANFL, or are those days over? I know.
Pretty sure those days are over, but he's certainly turning it up in the NTFL competition.
Here's Glenn Randall with a little kick in. Puts it out wide, and the mark taken out there. And a good one too by Matt Rosier. Player from Alice Springs, plays for Territory Thunder. Good ground level player. Capable of kicking from there.
Yeah, he's a left footer, and if he can get his confidence up early in the game, he's quite a damaging player. A lot of coaches wouldn't actually rate him, but he just goes and goes and goes and racks up possession.
Talking to his mum the other day, she said they keep saying he's a terrier. He's not a terrier, she said. Here he is, along the boundary line, kicks it into the man of the mark. That was a poor kick from him. Ball knocked towards the boundary line. Districts a chance to pick it up. Cannard wants it, didn't get it. Glenn Randall with the hard tackle. Ball lands on the ground. Paper Talk, who's busy earlier on, gets on the right boot, squeezes it back in the direction there of Marcus Hamilton. And Hamilton can win it to 50, but out charging with the footy is Aaron Motlop, and away he goes. Squeeze it out wide here. Smart with the little knock across. All Southern Districts there when the ball hits the ground. Mitchell Taylor on the slide.
Can't
do that. Turn it over. Michael Bowden wins the free kick for Southern Districts. Had his granddad on radio today, being interviewed by Michael's uncle, who's the son of Mike Bowden. This is all getting complicated.
It is. Family tree.
Here's the kick up towards Jared Brennan, takes the mark in front of Daniel Motlop at the 50-metre line. So he's about 5 or 6 metres in from the boundary line. It's take a very good kick. He is a good kick. He's an AFL player.
Wow.
He loads it up and he gives it plenty.
Oh, he didn't.
Just swung away.
And he didn't hit it sweet either. It was a bit of a mongrel punt, but he certainly made the distance. No effort whatsoever.
A lot of people say he'll win the Nichols medal. Well, Brodie Philo must be a chance, but G. Brennan's got to be there as well. Will Farrell as well, I reckon, has had a great year. Little kick comes out to Daniel Motlop. They call him Lucky. I'm not going to go into details about that. Across to Nook Mansell, backward of the wing on the grandstand side. Kicks it upfield, on the run, picked up, charging forward here. Joel Cabillo did it well, kicks down towards Cook, got under the footy, he was held without the football. It's on the ground, forced towards the boundary line. What's the umpire going to rule here? Throw it in, gee, Lucky.
Yeah, I wonder if that's deliberate, because the ball didn't actually go through for a behind. It actually hit the far post, so therefore it's a throw-in, and it was a deliberate action towards the boundary line.
The thought crossed my mind, Jared, I must tell you. Here's the throw in.
You're a boundary umpire, mate.
Yeah. Oh, high tackle there on Shannon Motlop. And you know what? If you were flying over on one of those flights to Singapore and you looked down, you would have still been able to see that because he made sure, didn't he, the big number 44, that everyone saw that he was hit high.
Such a dangerous player, and he kicked. He requires the attention of not only his direct opponent, where you pretty much have to tag him, but everyone around the contest is wary of him as well, and that makes him so dangerous. And he quite often picks up some of those free kicks because of that fact.
Premiership player with North Melbourne, 98, was it?
Nine?
Well, whatever. He kicked 3
He's a
last
premiership
week.
player.
He's a premiership player with North Melbourne. He's on the left boot and he won't miss, and he doesn't. And he delivers for the Eagles. They got their second. They're playing good footy here in the early stages of this qualifying final. It's the reigning premiers up against the minor premiers.
Yeah, I must talk about the weather too, Charlie. It threatened about 3/4 the way through the St Mary's Nightcliff game. A big storm, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. It looked like, and there was dark clouds, it looked like it was going to come over and absolutely ruin this game of football for us and the fans, but it stayed away. However, it's still very humid and the rotation is going to play a big role.
Been an overcast day all day. What do you make of this using Sleeth and Wall off the bench? When they kick a goal, they swap over. So it's Wall that's gone back out there now to do the ruck work.
Yeah, interesting. I guess it adds a bit of structure to the rotation, just makes it easier for every player to... Sometimes you get caught up in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the finals. That way it's easy for everybody. Nice tap.
Beautiful. Into the hands here of Aaron Motlop. Goes for goal and delivers again.
Goal.
Eagles on fire.
Goal assist to Shannon Motlop there. It was a beautifully weighted tap to Aaron Motlop running through. And like we said at the start of the game, the Motlop factor, it's starting to take shape.
There are just too many of them. You can't tag them all. I'm just going to go through them. There's Aaron Motlop out there. Thomas Motlop's out there. Jerome Motlop is out there. Daniel Motlop is out there. And Shannon Motlop is out there. So there's 5 of them. Just feel like you're being surrounded by a whole family. Here it is back in the centre. Score check here. Eagles 3-2. Districts just the 1 point. All the running with Wanderers, the reigning premiers earlier on. They get the tap out of the middle. They send Brennan in. Go in there, Jared, and get it out for it. Goes to Paper Talk as front position takes a strong contested mark. He's only a little player, but he's good quality. Kennard out in front of Daniel Motlop takes a strong mark at 50. Good player, Kennard, won the Nichols medal.
Absolutely, and Daniel Motlop, he's sort of zoning off Matt Kennard in the hope to help out Daniel Weecher, who's on Will Farrer.
Going to go backwards was the kick. He says, I can't kick from 60, but Jared Brennan can from 85.
That's right. If he gets onto this talk, just pop it up to Will Farrer. That's all you need to do. And
look at that kick to Will Farrer. They just opened it up in front, left the alleyway for him to run into, and bang, he got hit on the chest.
That's a very smart play for Matt Kennard, not to just bomb it in there, because Wanderers are very good at flooding back, but he increased the angle, the efficiency of the angle, which has allowed Will Farrer some space.
100 goals this year, this man directly out in front. He's a beautiful kick for the footy. He's a beautiful mark. He's a quality player, and he gets the first goal for the minor premiers.
It's always hard, that first goal when you come off a week's break for the team. And here we go. We got some, I think it's Daniel Motlop that's down on the ground. Umpire's getting the book out. Could have been a bit of a tap to the stomach.
So Kennard, it's who they're talking to. So Daniel.
So it might be Will Farrer, I think, Charlie, that remonstrated with Motlop, but obviously Matt Kennard's the captain. But play goes on.
Okay.
And it's down on the wing right in front of us.
And rolls away over the boundary line. So Kennard and Daniel Motlop still exchanging words at the other end, but we'll focus on this. Here's the throw in. 1-1 Districts, 3-2 Wanderers. Might be a bit of niggle in the game on the back of that incident. Front position. Vivi got the tap down. Trying to get clear there. Matt Rosier goes underneath a pack of players.
This is what Matt Rosier does all day, although...
He's Jared Erlinson, got the job on him. Vivi doing the ruck work. It's a good kick around the body there from Andrew Lovett. He was good last week, Lovett.
He was very good. He certainly shown his AFL class. Was one of their best players.
So it's stuck out on the wing. This is the Morris Rioli stand we sit in here, named after the great man himself. at the Marara Stadium, or TIO Stadium here in Darwin. Little scramble kick forward. Kennard with the little tap knocked it away from the dangerous Thomas Motlop, who went back to it. Daniel Motlop did well. Handball was clever to Joel Cabillo. Goes out wide. Eagles do this well. They like the spread. They'll run it from the full-back line. Up the middle they go. Good kick straight into the hands there of Braden McLean. Out to Mitchell Taylor. Punches forward. Great kick from him once Cook finds him. Up forward of the wing.
Beautiful skills, Charlie.
Mitchell Taylor on the run around. Kick came back into the hands of Braden McLean on the follow through. His kick went a little too long. They were underneath it, dropping the mark. Robert Copeland, another player with AFL experience and plenty of it. Handball was turned over. Shot for Wanderers from a long way out. It's going to roll away. Gee, they gave the old point post. Nearly did a Lee Matthews on it.
That seriously looked like it was going to snap. But eyes for the football. Justin Smart, he just couldn't get a finger to it, and it's out of bounds on the full.
So deep in the back pocket. Sth Districts up to the pressure, big climb. And the umpire's whistle goes. Jared Brennan, it was, that got up high. He's been rewarded. Kennard, Motlop, Daniel Motlop. Kennard left it at the back. Simon Bates come in at a rate of knots. Geez, a good player. He closes so very, very quickly. That's him there, the number 5, with his hands on his knees for the blue and gold.
Yeah, good body by Simon Bates on Lionel Ogden.
Now they kiss and make up. VV with the tap down. Trying to run through the pack there was Zane Carter. Overrunning the footy was Lionel Ogden this time. Thomas Motlop caught from behind and nailed. Great tackle, Ogden. Will he get a free kick? No, he won't.
Yeah, great work there by Ogden. He's been involved in 2 pretty heavy clashes and good tackling. You need that forward pressure.
Get down in a minute to Kieran Davis. I can see him down there now. I was looking for him. I couldn't see him. He's on the boundary for us. We'll get to him in just a moment. Josh Cabillo with a scrambly old kick. Didn't go very far. Left it on the ground. Runners come through. Sam Christie, who's a good defender for the Eagles, goes up forward. Oh, that is a great mark. That is a terrific mark by Shannon Motlop. He has a goal already, and with great vision, turned it around and kicked it straight into the hands there of Jerome Motlop. And Jerome Motlop is going to have a shot.
He just sprinted down from this stoppage, Charlie. Once Wanderers get the football and they've got control of possession, they just sprint forward, and there's not too many teams that can go with him. But his work rate on the back of a Shannon Motlop, great mark. He deserves a goal.
So here he is, Jerome Motlop. Been a great defender for the Eagles for a season and a bit. And push him up forward when you want, and he can do this sort of damage. He's straight out in front. Sometimes his kicking lets him down. Jared, that was a horrible kick.
Well, we've seen 3 times now that players just haven't pushed back far enough on the mark. There's been 2 that's been kicked into the man on the mark, and that occasion there, he had to pull the kick and try and chip it up over him. Yeah.
Let's see what Kieran's got. Kieran, welcome. What can you see from there?
Well, you always talk about how the umpires need to make sure that the crowd doesn't get into their thoughts and keep the passion of the game out of their decisions. It's going to be tough tonight. We always applaud the Wanderers crowd. That's always big, but the Sth Districts crowd to my right looks just as big, just as passionate, and it's already a very energetic game.
Okay, so vocal crowd here. Kick forward, front position. Cook almost got the mark, goes scrambling, looking for it again. His second effort was good, but his handball was smothered. Left on the ground. Jerome Motlop will get another chance here. Can he get a handle? He does. And then he's caught, and then he got the kick away. It worked okay. Got it down towards Shannon Motlop. Onto the loose ball he goes, bangs it goal and kicks another one. You give him limited opportunities, he'll score every time. Shannon Motlop's got 2.
He is the danger man in every game that he plays, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. But a scintillating matchup between Motlop and Copeland, both premiership players at AFL level, although on that occasion it was Kyle Barker, I think just through rotations, but he is the danger man.
2 goals to his name now, Shannon Motlop. Goals to Aaron Motlop and Justin Smart. That's the 4 goals for the Eagles. Will Farrer, the 100-goal kicker for Sth Districts, has 1. Then goes out on the wing.
Might ask Kieran that if there's a breeze that might be favouring one side. There's not too much happening with the flags. They're just going across the field. Kieran?
Well, on ground level, I can't feel anything, so it doesn't feel like there's a lot of wind affecting this game.
It's a ball in the middle, and Wanderers want a bit of it. Held without the footy. Pick the free kick out. It's going to be a Wanderers free kick. It's going to go to Sam Christie. Made the ABC Dream Team last week, Christie. Such a good player, was terrific in defence. And That's what he does. He hits targets all the time. His kick went just a little too long. Will Brennan be a little rusty? Do you think? Daniel Motlop hadn't played for about 5 or 6 weeks either, and had his first game last week. Didn't look too rusty to me.
Oh, I think Brennan's certainly found his groove in this game straight up.
Kennard's kick forward. So Districts on the charge here. Daniel Motlop couldn't believe it. It's kicked straight to him. And then he sends it with some GST on it. Kicked it out 10% more on it. It was a beautiful kick out towards the wing. And they've turned it over again. Southern Districts to bring it straight back from where it came. Here comes Farah. Out in front, takes a strong mark. And then he just went across field with a nice kick. Gave it off to Turner running forward.
Yeah, and that's a good win for Southern Districts, where their backline players won the football for them, were able to run off their opponent and catch Wanderers out.
Ticking up the 22 minutes, quarter just about over. This will be a really important kick. Wanderers have the ascendancy here, 4-2 to 1-1. They'd like to get within a goal. Turner from directly out in front, goes for goal, leaves it out to the left. Minor score, 1-2 now, Southern Districts. 22 minutes gone, 4-2 the Eagles. They bring it back in. Jared Eilert with me. Kieran Davis down on the boundary line. We're in central commentary here at the Marara Stadium, or TIO Stadium, if you like to call it that. Short kick to Mitchell Taylor from Daniel Motlop. Mitchell Taylor goes out wide. Eagles stretching them. Southern Districts across their defensive line. Eagles now know where to go. Mitchell Taylor went for a little wander upfield. It's like no one was interested in picking him up. It's always a possession that he's going to get. Paper Talk picked the pocket, won the footy, went with the kick up towards the forward line underneath it. He just couldn't hold on to it. It was Will Farah. Turner snaps and kicks the goal.
2 shots a goal, and he doesn't make a mistake on that occasion, Charlie. And that was a great win by Paper Talk up the ground. And the quick turnover is always going to catch out the Wanderers' defence.
The other good thing to see there, Michael Bowden was deep down in the forward pocket, and he plays right back in defence. He's making the run now, 80, 100 metres to the other end of the ground.
It's matching fire with fire, because we see Thomas Motlop do that all the time for Wanderers, and that's exactly what the defence or the half-back line for Southern Districts have to do.
So they're set in the middle again. Siren imminent. First quarter about to come to a close in this qualifying final. The winner gets the grand final spot next week. The loser has to front up against a rampant St Mary's, who are very impressive in their win. Mitchell Taylor gets to the footy. Over Nightcliff today, it was a very good win by them. Saints, and they chip it out wide. Wanderers here to Thomas Motlop. There's a bit of a roving commission across the half-back line. As Jared said, can go on the wander when he wants. High kick out towards the wing. Pack forms John O'Mile. Front position at the back there was Ed Barlow. So Barlow do a bit of the ruck work as well?
Well, he's certainly a big boy, and he has played through that position throughout the year. So that's one of the strengths for Southern Districts. They've got some tall timber to throw around. Another
player there just on camera. You saw Nathan Jagura had some AFL experience as well. Quarter comes to a close. It was a good one. Wanderers leading here at quarter time, 4-2 to Southern Districts 2-2. Jared Eilert.
Well, Wanderers had most of the possession for that quarter, and they probably should be a little further in front. But as it always is, you have a week off of footy. The team that has that week off always going to take a few, I guess, contests to get in the game. But some of the better players, Brennan, Ogden, Rosier and Turner for Districts, and Shannon Motlop, Thomas Motlop, Josh Cabillo for Wanderers.
So the goal kickers for the Eagles to half-time. Shannon Motlop's got 2, Justin Smart 1, and Aaron Motlop 1. And for Southern Districts, Will Farah's got 1, and Daniel Turner has got 1. Earlier today, St Mary's accounted for Nightcliff, knocked them out of the finals running with a 40-point win, and we'll go through to preliminary final. St Mary's 13-14 beat Nightcliff 6-16. But here at quarter time, it's the Eagles by 12 points. 4-2, Districts 2-2.
Weather is part of life in the Territory. It's unpredictable when it comes and in what it leaves behind. That's why Territorians need the right insurance cover for their home and contents. Local knowledge is important. Talk to TIO about Territory home insurance for Territory conditions. So before it happens, call 131-TIO or visit tiofi.com.au. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business, Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more! Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us. And sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Keep going, Brayden.
Like we do that last 3-minute kicking drill, what is it? We kick mark, no fucking playing on, alright? So when you want to hold down, we've had a good quarter, it's just you keep possession, and that's what we train for, alright? So you don't have to play on. Until you get forward, that's when we do move it on quickly, alright? But round about here, we control the possession, alright? So that's it. Look, at the first half of that quarter, we controlled the tempo of the game, okay? Our tackling pressure was good, and we need to make sure that that stays on for 4 quarters. As the quarter went on, we started to then reach in, trying to grab the ball one hand back there, alright? We need to make sure everything is clean, alright? We talk about doing the basics very well. This is why every single contest, it's you go in with 2 hands. You tackle with intensity. You go in with your shoulder. Don't start poking and kicking around. That's not for finals football, alright? That sits in the minor rounds out later. It's been a great start. Just make sure if Ed Barlow is the one who's going to be that loose back here, I spoke about it, whether it's BB, yourself or Milesy, you go and don't let him be that loose because he's the one that will create that run. So teams making their way back out into position. We can go down to Kieran Davis, who was listening into them. Kieran.
Well, Wanderers coach Gene Rioli, he made sure to tell the boys to make sure that to keep their 1%ers up, their tackles, their shepherds, which has been good all season. He also told them that in the last 3 minutes of that quarter, they really should have held possession of the ball, tried to slow the tempo down rather than keep running and playing on. Also, Ed Barlow, he reckons he's the main focal point for Southern District. They need to keep a man on him and not let him be the loose man across defence.
Okay, that's some good advice. What do you think, Jared?
Yeah, interesting. Obviously, he stood out for Dean Rioli and the thorn in his game plan, Charlie. So we'll see how Ed continues to play that role.
So John O'Miles got a little tap down. They didn't clear it. Southern District scramble kick forward out to the 50-metre line. Eagles there swarming out of defence. Gathered in this time by Marcus Hamilton as the whistle went. Kennard says, what's going on? Umpire says, well, it's a free kick to the opposition. So I don't know, would an umpire call a player, sir? Probably not. Mark taken here by Nook Mansell.
Maybe if he's asking for something. I'm thinking the other way around, Charlie. Please, sir, give me a free kick.
Yeah, what's going on, sir? Wanderers with so much leg speed. Look at this on the charge and missing to the near side. Gee, that was a chance for a goal there. Hard running, Jared Erlinson.
Absolutely, a pick up on the fly, one-handed, and we've seen Aaron Motlop and Josh Cabillo on the fly with clean hands, and that's liquid gold in a final situation.
So what is this structure here for Southern Districts as they bring the ball out? They've opened it right up, haven't they, across their defensive line?
Yeah, looking to push the ball wide into numbers, Charlie, and if you get the numbers there, you've got more chance of winning the footy, and they've done it on that occasion.
Hamilton did well up towards the wing. Kick up here towards Kennard at the back and Dean Staunton in the front. Staunton won it. Campbell was clever. Up towards Mitchell Taylor, got the footy, then lost it. Kick off the ground, out towards the wing. Districts did best. Handball will come back to Jared Brennan. Brennan off the left boot, always delivers immaculately. And he kicked beautifully that time, gave it to McGough. McGough down towards Farah on the lead forward. It is as easy as that.
And he must have heard the voice or the footsteps, Dean Staunton. He was in the right position to actually have a crack at taking that mark, but he heard William Farah breathing down his neck, and he got out of the way.
So Farah from directly out in front, this super goal sneak, who's been just almost unbeatable all year. He leans back and kicks at goal. He does not miss, and that's one of the qualities of him. He's got 2 today.
And great setup work by Southern Districts on the far side. They won possession. They were able to transfer the play to a free running player, McGough, and great skills to deliver the football out in front of William Farah.
Well, that power game of Southern District, they are strong. They're not fast, but they're really, their physical presence is a big bonus for them. They're going to throw that at Wanderers, I reckon, in this quarter.
Yeah, and they have to, because they have to use their strengths in that situation, and that's what created the turnover on the far side.
So if it was a boxing bout, you'd say Wanderers took the points in the first quarter?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So here's the tap from the middle, straight down towards Jared Brennan. Got the possession, then closed in on a high tackle, gave away a free kick. Was a little enthusiastic with it. Got Nook Mansell high.
He will put his head over the football every single time, Nook Mansell.
Front position for Wanderers, Adam Cook, out towards the boundary line. Desperate work back there by Barker. Kick across towards Aaron Motlop. He's had an okay year, Aaron. Good with Thunder. It hasn't been his most prolific year, I don't think. He's been okay.
Well, he's a smart player, Charlie. He's the ultimate professional. We see the kick reversed because the player's down in the background. I think Sam Christie might have given away or Justin Smart, might have given away the free kick.
You don't want to be doing that. You really don't want to be doing that. Rosier doing some good work in defence, up in the half-forward line, rather, into the Wanderers' defensive line, running with the footy. Strong mark taken down there by Marcus Hamilton. Now, Marcus Hamilton, he played at Palmerston, didn't he, for a while? Did he play at Palmerston? No?
I'm sure he's a Catherine boy. He certainly played for the Big River Hawks, and he come through Thunder and was earmarked as a potential draftee. And he's certainly a handy player for Southern Districts. I know he's got a pretty good relationship with Coach Shannon Rusker.
I thought I've made that suggestion before and got a blank response, so I'll have to check that out. Here he is along the boundary line, has a shot, misses to the near side. Maybe it was someone else, Hamilton.
It's past the Berrimah line, though, Charlie.
So the Eagles could bring it back. The little short kick to the pocket. This is Thomas Motlop. Liam Patrick, great player he is, out with that broken arm, won't play at all. Went out about 4 or 5 weeks ago, didn't he? And Wanderers are missing him. I always look up and expect to see him there. VV front position, good fist at the back. He's a quality player, Liam Patrick, isn't he?
Absolutely. He actually didn't know he broke it, and he played on one game, but big disappointment for footy fans in the finals.
So the Eagles did pretty well here. Now there's a whistle. It's going to be a kick here to Southern Districts. A bit of holding on. Might have been Shannon Motlop. They want to play on. I don't think that's going to be allowed, Cale. You're 100 metres away from where the incident
Good
was.
try.
It's a dangerous kick, but just he managed to get the target and caught from behind. Umpire says 50 metres because he didn't call play on. I think that had something to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. You knew exactly what the player was going to do because the player was on to transfer the play for Southern Districts, but Shannon Motlop just had to hold his ground, tread water to let the umpire blow his whistle to say mark, and then he could have gone.
And Robert Copeland let him know all about it, and he didn't like it, Big Shannon.
No, and we're getting a lot of attention from the fourth umpire, the reserve umpire that keeps coming in and settling things down.
Matt Payne went to Bowden, who went wider downfield. Oh, they've overrun the footy districts. Little frustration. Spent it before you've earned it. Might have been the call. St Mary's terrific in their win today. 13-14 to 6-16 over Nightcliff. They'll play the loser of this game, the Saints. And they're back in town for those who wrote them off. Watch out for them, Sainters. Just the run from defence by the Eagles is pretty good up towards the middle of the ground. Shannon Motlop did pretty well. Cook on the charge from behind. It'll sit for Cook. Shannon Motlop ran for him. Shannon Motlop puts it on the left boot. Goes for goal. It rolls awkwardly, unhappily for Wanderers and out for a minor score.
Yeah, he got caught on the wrong side there. He's obviously, Shannon Motlop, he's a left footer. Didn't want to risk having a crack with the right foot.
Look at McGough and Jakira here. Sorry, Jared.
No, that's right. This is finals footy. There's going to be some niggling. There's going to be some scragging. But I think McGough is just letting Jakura know that I'm here, mate. I'm running next to you the whole game.
Fly at the back. You can feel the tempo just starting to lift, Jared, can't you, in this?
Yeah, the physicality as well.
They've felt each other out. Now they're going to roll the dice. Look at Farah. What an incredible run. There was nothing that Daniel Wheater could do in defence on him. He chased him, but he couldn't get to him. Goodness me, and he gave it to Cannard. Now, we want Farah back in the goal square, don't you?
Absolutely.
That's where he goes. That's him there running.
Just on the goal line, just pop it up to the top of the square and let him have a run and jump. It's probably high risk, high reward in that case.
Here he is, Matt Cannard. That heavily bandaged left knee. He's had some problems with it for a number of years. Not sure if he'll turn out again next year, but he's been good this year. He's a right footer. He's along the boundary line. He goes towards goal and he misses, gets a minor score. Been captain of the side, won the ABC Player of the Year, won the Nichols Medal. The Nichols Medal is the NTFL's equivalent to the Brownlow. You know that well, Jared. Gee, you won it a couple of times, haven't you?
I did. I was lucky to treat the umpires nicely and they gave me some votes.
Smarts kick. Clever out wide towards Dingo. He's got the job on Cook. Got the handball across Dingo, was good. Ed Barlow. That's the man we heard Kieran Davis say. The coach said you've got to keep a close eye on, Dean Rioli. Kick here to Josh Cabillo. I'll get down to Kieran in just a moment. Stay with Josh Cabillo. He's in the centre of the ground. He go to corridor kick here. No, he's going to squirt it out wide and link up to Aaron Motlop. He can go even further to Thomas Motlop. That's what the Motlops used to do on Christmas Day when they were about 6 years old. Kick to kick. Down towards that man under Jerome Motlop. He really should have marked that.
2 hands, Charlie. Should have gone with 2 hands.
Back out to Aaron Motlop, and he dropped it. Mitchell Taylor. Thomas Motlop, he was ignored. Daniel Motlop's a better option. And he came in hard, Bowden. Jerome Motlop gets along the boundary line, not going anywhere. Now he's in trouble. He's a cool customer, that number 15 right there. Look at him. He's as cool as they come. He's a beauty. Love the way he plays footy. Here's the throw in. Josh Cabillo with the big tap down. And when the whistle's gone, umpire says, I think we'll throw it in again. While that's happening, it's down to Kieran. Kieran.
Well, just what I've noticed so far, it doesn't seem like either coach are really trying to neglect the other's tactics. Wanderers have still been able to spread along the back line, and Southern Districts are still playing that game style where they just spear it into the forward 50 and let Farah run onto us. I think it's a very attractive game of footy because neither coach is really restricting the other's style of play.
Good comment. Paper talk. Spillage to Hamilton to the middle. Wanderers get it. They can work forward here. Braden McLean. Short kick. He's got Cook on a big charge. We'll get to it. Run through paper talk. Gave it off to Shannon Motlop. Looked up, had a player down there in the forward line, chipped it over the top and got it down to Duncan Seaton.
He's been pretty handy for him, Charlie, across the season. He might not be a high possession winner, but he just pops up, does his job. He rolls up every game, week in, week out. He might get a couple of goals to his name, or he might play in the back line and stop a couple of goals.
So Seedon, this will be a tough kick for him. He's a long way out. He'll kick. I don't know whether he'll cross the 50. I reckon he'll just get to the 50 and have to boot it. There's the 50. Well, he gets a couple of steps in and he loads up and he gives it plenty. It's a good-looking kick. It's a very good-looking kick. And Duncan Seedon kicks the goal.
And he just has a little look back over his shoulder to Keegan Dingo. There's no doubt whatsoever that Keegan Dingo was giving him a spray on the mark. But just a little cheeky look back over the shoulder saying, you can say what you want, I'm still going to kick the goal.
Have a look at the scoreboard. 5-4, we'll look at it. Eagles in front. Nearly 11 minutes gone. 3 goals for Southern Districts. So the margin, 12 points. Eagles had that lead at quarter time. Kicked a goal each here in this quarter. Will Farrer got his second for the match. Seedon with that one for the Eagles. Daniel Turner there with the towel on his head. VV scrambles a kick out of the middle. Tackle on the busy player there in Joel Cabillo. Wanderers just everywhere, aren't they? So busy. Shannon Motlop brings it down towards centre half forward. Ball going to be held up there. Umpire will come in and ball it up.
Wanderers just seem to be always on the move, aren't they? They just, once they get the ball forward, they just push forward, set up the wall in the right positions if Southern Districts win possession.
Cabillo's kick is going to bounce right down to Jono Miles underneath it. Big Jono couldn't get it. And Josh Cabillo in the way there. And got it, Josh Cabillo. Handball over the top was good. Kick by the Eagles, right to the goal line. Mark dropped there, and then they concede. They rush it through for minor score to Southern Districts.
And a heavy body clash there with Josh Cabillo and Joel Cabillo. Both players taking a little while to get up off the ground.
So Southern Districts to bring it out. No one out on that far side. That's where they're going to go. It's gone over the boundary line. So,
yeah, poor skill error on that one because the player was out for Southern Districts. He had about 10 metres worth of space. And you just need to control the football, make the opposition work a little bit harder by controlling it, making them chase you, making them work the mark.
Sleeth and VV. The ruckman here. VV front position. Sleeth red at best. Got a little tap on it. Matt Rosier trying to get out, but it goes to ground. Tackles all around him. Umpire comes in to ball it up. It's 13 minutes gone. Wanderers hold that lead. 5-5 now to 3-4. We saw those big storms coming in the earlier match. Lightning, thunder, all sorts of noise and light, and then nothing.
Yeah, nothing. It was, it was a lot of noise, Charlie, like you said, for nothing. But a big lightning strike did play havoc with the power here. But luckily for us and the fans, there was no rain.
I remember Geelong coming up here once to play, and they came out to have a look at the ground on a Friday night for a Saturday night match. And the biggest lightning and thunder show I've ever seen in my life. They were looking at each other saying, are you kidding? Get me out of here.
We don't get paid enough to play out here.
It beats of incredible storms we get in the wet season up here in the top end. The green season, as you can see, it's beautiful. So kick out of a scramble pack. Eagles go over the top. Daniel Motlop tried to get it away. Knocked on further Jono Miles. Ball forced towards the boundary line. Dingo on the charge, took a risk. Cleared it to the boundary line. I just want to say hello to Maury Ryan, listening to us down at Kalkarinji. He's tuned in. He's listening to us. For another Nichols medalist, was a Wanderers player. Maury, hello. And Warren Williams, listening at watching us at Yundamu. He loves his footy. He's a Wanderers man as well. They're saying, make sure you give us plenty of a description, Charlie. Well, we're doing the best we can, guys. Handball here. Paper talk. They got him. He's dispossessed. Eagles win possession and advantage. Long shot goal.
Keelan Fijo.
It was the crumbing work was sensational. The clean-up was good, and the goal was there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't help but think that the winds just started to pick up and favouring the airport end. And the first quarter, I was watching those flags, and they were blowing straight across the field. Where now it seems that Wanderers have a 2 or 3 goal breeze behind them.
Hard for us to say sitting up here in the comfort of the air conditioning. We can go down to Kieran, who's braving the elements. Give us a report on the breeze, Kieran.
Yeah, definitely. Jared's right. There's definitely a breeze going towards that airport end now. Very unfortunate for Southern Districts that they didn't get it in the first quarter.
So Wanderers can make full use of it. high climb out of the middle was done very well too by James Wall. Went forward, and that's an equally as good effort down there by Thomas Motlop. He just couldn't complete the mark. Hard running down there, Matt Payne. That's a good kick out to Simon Bates from Jakura, who's good back there in defence. Smart under the footy, got pushed out from it. Whistle goes. Advantage played. Advantage played. Umpire says yes. That's a crazy advantage. He didn't take advantage, and then the umpires made him take advantage. He didn't have a choice. Southern Districts with the kick up the corridor is good. Wanderers win it. They'll bring it back down towards Shannon Motlop. Pushed out of the contest. Ball spills wide. Southern Districts can clear out to Dingo. He's all by himself in the back pocket. He hasn't dropped it. He really had a chance to get it and he didn't. Now he goes to ground. He's been done cold by Josh Cabillo. He went with the little kick. He didn't find the target he wanted out there in Andrew Lovett. And they go back to Josh Cabillo and out wide again to Aaron Motlop, and they'll load up again. Aaron Motlop to the top of the square. They fly. It got right over the back. Danger times here for Southern District. He put it on the ground, Brennan. Oh, he was so lucky to get away with that one, Jared. My goodness, he was.
Oh, the Southern District's defence looked a little bit rattled at the moment and just not taking possession. Like Dingo had all the time in the world to take that mark, but I think he spent it before he actually took possession. So all power with Wanderers at the moment.
Had Dingo taken, he had about a couple of players up on that forward line he could have got to. Here's the kick out of the packet. There's an amazing kick, love it. It just doesn't make it. Goodness me.
Just not enough Weet-Beeks on the kick on that one. He certainly took clean hands off the tap. That would have brought the house down.
Copeland will bring the ball back into play. 17 minutes gone. Little kick to himself. And then he punches it out wide. That's a good long kick. Eagles in good position down there. Jerome Motlop, busy as usual. Handball out into the pathway of Daniel Turner. Off he goes. He's got pace and he's got plenty of it. He takes them on and then he kicks forward. Farah over the top. Couldn't get it. Mitchell Taylor on the clean-up. Paker gets to him. Makes him kick it in a hurry. He kicked it too. Gave a chance here for Zane Carter. Didn't get it. Jerome Motlop caught in trouble. Oh, geez, lucky to get away with that as well. Scramble kick forward, Wall, pretty good. Wanderers underneath the footy, didn't pick it up. In comes Paper Talk, goes with a handball inside defensive 50. Comes out to Cannard. Cannard has a flying shot. Will Farah under it, got it, lost it, lands on the ground. Eagles clean up from defence. Oh, they've stood the test and they kick it out to Aaron Motlop.
They absolutely stood up there, Charlie. At one point in time, it was 4-on-2 for Southern Districts, and they've done well to come away with it.
Here's Aaron Motlop, punches it out towards the wing. Daniel Motlop, good position. Coming over the top, Matt Payne. Ball goes to ground. Can't get to it, Matt Payne. Now he gets it. His third effort was really good. It's a high kick. Plenty of Eagles get back there. One of those big leg breaks and eludes the running player there in Thomas Motlop over the boundary line.
There's no doubt that Matthew Payne is a workhorse and high possession getter for Southern Districts. He just hasn't been clean with the football so far to give him that time and space to actually use the ball efficiently. So he's going to have to work on that as the game progresses.
Barlow and Duffy waiting back here if that ball comes back. Push out. Umpire says it's all okay. Sometimes they're exaggerated, those push outs, aren't they, in the ruck contest. Free kick goes here. It's going to be Districts get the free kick.
Like Matthew Rosier.
So Rosier, you know him better than I do. I was going to say, can he get the distance? That's the question ignored.
No, not from there, Charlie. But as soon as that free kick was given, Wanderers defence and Mitch Taylor, Thomas Motlop, and obviously Daniel Weech was playing one-on-one with Will Farah, they just dropped it back into space. So Matthew Rosier had to kick over two defenders filling the holes.
And the boundary up to throw it in. Southern Districts where they want to be. VV front position, did well to tap it to ground. Jerome Motlop on the clean-up. He got two chances to pick it up and then he had to kick it off the ground. He looks like he's just getting a little frustrated, Jerome Motlop.
Yeah, it's not coming off for him at the moment. He did have a shot at goal in the first quarter and didn't hit that sweetly, so he is probably a little bit frustrated.
It's like a cricketer with his timing out, isn't he? Just can't,
That's right.
Can't quite get it. Here's Nook Mansell. Nice handball. Try to get it to Jakura. It's a tough game at the moment. There's Jerome Motlop again. He just got rid of Matt Duffy then. There he is. He's still frustrated. Now he's going to come off and have a rest, which is probably a wise thing to do. This will just stay in the field of play for No, it won't. Michael Bowden couldn't get it. Grandson of the great Mike Bowden, premiership player with Richmond. 1969, I think it was. Played 60-odd games. Missed the grand final the year before, but beat Carlton. Thanks, Mike, for that. Here's the kick up towards half forward for the Eagles. Punch from the back, Adam Cook. He did it well, Cook, too, because he knocked it towards his ruckman there, and John O'Miles. I thought he was going for the boundary line, but he figured the ruckman might have been able to get it. Get to it, but he wasn't able to.
And that's another great matchup for this game, Charlie. Cook and Barlow, and having Barlow on Cook, Barlow can't be that link player. He has to man up on Cook because he's such a dangerous force up forward. Daniel
Motlop tried to get past Jared Brennan, who wouldn't let him. Ball's left on the ground. Clean up here. Cleverly done out wide to Dingo. Dingo with pace and space. That's what you need in footy. And now he gets onto the right boot. And he bangs it long. Got it right up towards the half-forward line from the half-back line.
It'll be interesting to see if Wanderers slow down the tempo now, like Dean Rioli told them to it at quarter time.
Yes, I wonder if it'll be noticeable if they'll do that. We'll keep an eye on it.
Geez, they got a lot of spare players on this side of the ground, Charlie, Wanderers.
Josh Cabillo's having a big night out, isn't he?
Yep.
And out wide here, he can go to the running player out there in Justin Smart.
Yep. He knows exactly what he did wrong there. Shannon Mollop, he should have just let it go for Smart to run through. He did do a pretty successful tap to Aaron Motlop in the first quarter, but that one he just had to let his teammate run onto it.
VV's got the jumping beans in him tonight. Josh Cabillo's been super tonight. He's a hard man to beat. He's having a hot game. Handball out here for Southern District, turned over. Cook couldn't get it. Barlow does the hard work. Links it out wide through Copeland. Copeland from the pocket. Nook Mansell came at it. Southern District's now got it. They have control of it. They have extra players. Out towards the wing they go. Ogden couldn't get to it. Well, rather, it was kicked too far away from Ogden.
Yeah, that's right. And again, that kick just doesn't hit its target and they were out. So not only Southern Districts having to do all the work in terms of tackling, chasing the football down. If they don't hit their targets, they're going to exert too much energy, which makes it hard when they go into attack.
Good cluster of Wanderers players on the bench there. You just saw Andrew Lovett was there with Daniel Motlop and also Jerome Motlop. Quality there. It's just forward of the wing as we get in close to half time. 23 minutes gone. And Wanderers have done very well here. They've kicked 3-1 in this quarter. They've got a pretty handy lead here. Southern Districts would like a late goal, but they're finding it pretty tough to get down there. Ogden with the kick. Eagles in the way, cut it off in defence. Their defence is so good because it's so quick.
And this is the spread that I talk about. The ball was at a stoppage on the far side. It gets kicked into the 50, but look at the runners. Look at the runners for Wanderers, and the siren saved Southern Districts on that occasion.
They were charging forward, the Eagles, with the overlap, but the siren brings it to an end. Wanderers 6-6. They came out in that quarter and kicked 2-4 to Southern Districts 3-4, and Southern Districts kicked 1-2. So at half-time, it's the Eagles up 6-6 to 3-4. Jared.
And Wanderers doing all the damage with the football, and they should be further in front. So Southern Districts will go into the half-time pretty lucky, actually, considering they're not that far out of the game. It'll only take a couple of quick goals to turn this around. But Wanderers controlling the football, setting up their structures, spreading hard from contests, and all the positives with them at the moment.
So the halftime score here, the Eagles out in front and holding on and holding sway. 6-6 they lead to Southern District 3-4.
Weather is part of life in the Territory. It's unpredictable when it comes and in what it leaves behind. That's why Territorians need the right insurance cover for their home and contents. Local knowledge is important. Talk to TIO about Territory home insurance for Territory conditions. So before it happens, call 131 TIO or visit tiofi.com.au. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more! Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Patrons are reminded that TIO Stadium is strictly a non-smoking venue and that patrons wishing to smoke must use the areas provided.
Weather is part of life in the Territory. It's unpredictable when it comes and in what it leaves behind. That's why Territorians need the right insurance cover for their home and contents. Local knowledge is important. Talk to TIO about Territory home insurance for Territory conditions. So before it happens, call 131 TIO or visit tiofi.com.au. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more! Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Second half about to get underway here. Southern Districts make their way back out onto the field here at the TIO Stadium in Darwin. The news is that the reigning premiers are in front. Wanderers, who are still in a huddle at the other end of the ground, they are leading 6-6 to 3-4. The minor premiers Southern Districts there in the crocodile colours. Got the work to do in front of them. Jared Eilert, not sure they can dig themselves out of this. They've got themselves a bit of a hole here, Southern Districts. Yeah, it should be a pretty good second half here. Kieran Davis, I'm not sure if you picked up anything during the half-time break. You might have a comment for us, Kieran.
It'll be very interesting to see if Southern Districts can come back from this, because usually Wanderers are the team that have the capability to really burst out of the blocks and wrestle back the lead in a game. I can't really see Southern Districts doing that at the moment the way they're playing, because Wanderers, with their amazing defensive structure, are just shutting them down every time they go forward.
Their running defence is just superb, isn't it? Really is very, very good.
Yeah, definitely. Like every time they win the ball back in defence, they've already got 2 or 3 players running to either side of the ground. They just have so many options moving forward, and Districts really don't have the leg speed to keep up with them.
Okay, let's see how it all unfolds, Jared.
Yeah, well, I think Josh Cabillo has been Wanderers' best player, and Shannon Motlop, Thomas Motlop rounds out their top 3, and Barlow, Brennan and Ogden for mine in Southern Districts. So some big name players, but there's certainly a lot of talent out there that we haven't quite seen yet. We haven't seen Will Farrer really unleash.
I reckon if Southern District's going to win this game, they've got to make a statement here in this third term. If this game just continues to run the way it's going, and this man continues to get plenty of the footy, Josh Cabillo, then make it really difficult for Southern Districts. It's down in the forward line, tapped on cleverly, straight into the hands of Jerome Motlop by Daniel Motlop. Bang, thank you very much, goal.
Cabillo from the clearance. Daniel Motlop, he's playing up forward now. He's been taken out of the defensive role, and Jerome Motlop finally gets his goal that he's been searching for.
They're looking very good. They're looking very good, the Eagles.
Absolutely, and there's a little bit of remonstration in the middle. Dean Staunton in between 4 Wanderers. I'm not sure if that's the smartest move, but one thing I will say, Charlie, is it the best thing for the Wanderers Football Club to have a week off before a grand final? Because they came from 6th position last year and just steamrolled through.
Yeah, they like to be munching on the hay, don't they? They don't want to be in the pasture. They're doing nothing. Let's see what Districts can do to try and get back here. Eagles go forward yet again. Held up, though. Good, strong tackle at the back there. McGough holds it up. Umpire to ball it up. Wanderers just have that big B, the belief, don't they? That whatever they do is going to work for them, and who's to argue with that? I remember them winning back-to-back premierships, 81-82, I think it was, and 82-83 against St Mary's. And they were just amazing. They'd lost the year before to North Darwin, where they kicked 9 goals to 1 in the last quarter, the Eagles, and failed by a goal.
Wow.
Got beaten by North Darwin. Then they won 2 in a row against St Mary's. And the great Bully Abala was coaching them then. But we haven't seen back-to-back for the Eagles since then. But we might see it this year, the way they're playing. They're certainly stamping themselves as favourite. Ball knocked towards the 50-metre boundary line and chased over there by Matt Rosier.
And Andrew Lovett's being moved to the half-back line as well to perhaps generate some of that run and spark and create some of those options off the half-back line, which is normally the springboard for Wanderers.
Give us your point score on Brennan out of 10 so far.
Yeah, look, he's around the 6 and 7 mark. He certainly started the game off pretty well. See, Hamilton kicked the ball across the front of goal. But he was busy early, and I think he's certainly got more to give in this game. We know he's a quality player.
He just doesn't seem to be where the ball is at the moment. So that was a poor kick, and it was a poor result. Turned it over. Needed kick high in the goal square would have been a better option. But here's the kick from deep in defence by the Eagles, out towards the half-back line. Vivi in front position was pushed out of it, and he says, I deserve a free kick, don't I, Umpire agrees with him. So Neil Vivi, back up ruckman, not dominant tonight, but still getting enough of the footy. He's earned his spot in this team.
Great hands.
This is smart. Justin Smart kicked a goal in the first quarter. The Eagles with the chip around the boundary line. They worked this forward. Gee, the game climbed in that last quarter, Jared, didn't it? It got really intense and then fell away again when Wanderers were dominant.
Yeah, well, I thought Southern Districts did pretty well to actually sort of shift the focus for Wanderers to sort of play the man and worry more about the man than the football, but they weren't able to capitalise that up forward. And we see William Farrer break free, Jared Brennan kicking the ball in advantage side off a turnover up the ground. So they need to get this goal back because the first goal within 15 seconds was just not on for Southern Districts.
It's a beautiful kick by Jared Brennan on the lope, which only he can do. And now Will Farrer with a chance for his third. He's tucked away deep in the forward pocket. And he's a right footer and he's a good kick of the footy. That's a nice looking kick. He likes it. They love it. That'll inspire the Crocodiles, I reckon. He gets his third from a tough angle and he closes the gap down.
Yes, that's what they needed. They needed a reply and they needed the on-ballers to lock down a little bit harder than what we saw in the first sort of 15 seconds where Wanderers were able to get that quick goal. So nice reply. I'm not writing Southern Districts off yet. I still think they got the quality out there to make a real crack of this game.
Wanderers can just go bang, kick a goal in a hurry, can't they? But to Southern Districts, more your grinding team. They just work away, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So they won't allow a blowout, but they need to get the next goal to start putting some scoreboard pressure on.
They need to get some centre clearances. They're not getting it. Look at the busy Eagles in there. BV doing the work. Second and third effort from him, pretty good. He's in there battling away again. He's going to hold this up, Neil VV. He did pretty well.
And you're right, Charlie. The centre clearances are certainly going towards Wanderers' way and certainly an area for Southern Districts to tighten up on.
John O'Miles got the tap down. Shannon Motlop, who was beaten by it, but they'll win it anyway, the Eagles. Kick down towards their half-forward line, bouncing ball in front of Seaton, who kicked that super goal at the other end of the ground. That's him there, number 6. It's a great goal in the second term, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was, and he just pops up when he needs to, but great hands and pick up by Simon Bates.
So Bates, he's a big game specialist. When the finals come around, cometh Simon Bates onto the footy. Come the Eagles. Handball back. Landed in the hands there of Braden McLean and then lost over the boundary line. A little bit of feeling each other out, I reckon. Top of the third term. They don't want to concede a goal here, Southern Districts. And Wanderers not quite prepared to take the risk just yet. See what they can do. John O'Miles belts it to the open space. Nook Mansell closes, gives it to Simon Bates. On the run, Bates gets to it, picks it up, tries to elude the tackle, got it out to VV. VV went with a little kick across field, was good. High tackle put on there by Staunton. Umpire says it's all okay. Spillage to the Eagles from directly out in front. Bang, goal. I reckon it was Bates.
It was certainly, Charlie. Simon Bates, he set it up with a burst of speed and he ends up on the end of it as well. So just reward for some hard work.
So Bates making his way off. VV's coming off as well. Shakira's coming off. This will let Josh Cabillo come back on. And also Joel Cabillo. So they've done the job, the Eagles. They got that goal when they needed it after Southern Districts had kicked a beauty at the other end from Farrer. And the Eagles have 2 for the quarter and Southern Districts 1, so they haven't closed the gap.
Now 7 different goal kickers for Wanderers Football Club, and obviously Southern Districts rely heavily on William Farrer, who has 3, and the only other goal kicker for them is Daniel Turner.
8-6 to 4-4. Jerome Motlop, he's a real thorn in the side of Southern Districts at the moment. A little bit of holding on. It'll be a Southern Districts free kick across half back. Yeah, that's going to be 50. Now you can't give it back to your team. You can't. I'm not sure how that works. Wanderers had it. It was a free kick to Southern District. The Wanderer player gave it to another Wanderers player.
Yep. Anyway, they've got the possession and they push forward again with Aaron Motlop running into some space.
Beautiful kick off the left boot too. Came from Shannon Motlop. Found Aaron running forward.
And it's interesting, Charlie. Yes, certainly a 50-metre penalty should have been awarded on that occasion. But in saying that, Ogden didn't push back hard enough on the mark. And he just sort of took one step to make that kick. And it was a turnover in the middle of the ground. Shannon Motlop has got exquisite skills, and obviously Wanderers push hard into that space at the back, and Aaron Motlop has a chance to kick his goal.
45, well, no, he's better than 45. He's almost directly in front, as a matter of fact. And he'll kick from about 40 metres, I reckon. Crosses 50. He's a nice kick of the footy. He always strikes it well, drops it nicely, kicks at goal. No problem at all for Aaron Motlop. Gets his second for the match, and the Eagles turn it on, a bit like St Mary's did in the previous game here when they kicked 5 goals to 1 in the third quarter and snatched the game. The Eagles might be trying to emulate that.
Yeah, well, that was just a gimme, really. Turnover, and if you're going to allow Wanderers easy ball like that, it's going to cost you goals.
9-6 to 4-4. They kick another one, the Eagles. They might just about be Gonski, Southern Districts. You might have to write them off, Jared.
Yeah, well, it's hard to find where the spark's going to come from, isn't it? That's the challenging thing for Southern Districts, and I'd love to see Jared Brennan get his and he gets a chance here to have a running jump at it. He needs to get himself into the game.
Paper talk down to Farah. Gets a tackle on Taylor. Ball at the centre half forward area for Southern Districts. Wanderers all over it, won't let it out. Umpire to ball it up. Good to see Farah and Taylor against each other. You don't often see those two match up. They were matched up there for a short time. They're two exciting and explosive players. Brennan with the tap down. Saw Staunton out wide, couldn't get it to him. Kick comes out wide, strong mark taken. Joel Cabillo and then dropped it. Paper talk onto the footy. Gets it, tapped it cleverly back to Bowden. They get all over him and hold him up.
2 in the tackle on that occasion. I think it should have been a marker for Joel Cabillo. He's had strong hands, but 2 in the tackle, even to mop up the drop mark.
Carter, rather, that went underneath all of that. Comes out in the direction of Matt Payne. Overran it. Handball was good to Aaron Motlop, got it away. Up towards the centre of the ground. Hard run here, Lionel Ogden. Wanderers seem to get plenty of the footage. Josh Cabillo with a nice kick out wide. He's got this man, Jerome Motlop, who's having a beautiful day today. Wins it onto the right boot. The kick is a beauty. Oh, he delivered it nice, and they've dropped it down there. Justin Smart gets to Cook. Cook in the goal square. Couldn't get the kick away. In comes Daniel Motlop. Kicks it off the ground. But it was touched through for a minor score.
Oh, there were so many chances for Wanderers to kick that goal, but quick reply, quick kick in by Barlow to try and catch them out.
So too slow with this move. Now they find the target. It was Turner. It was already on a long lead, and what it caused him to do is go wider and wider and wider, so he got away from the corridor. He can bring it back if he wants. He's going to go over the top. Kick out towards the wing. Mark taken out there.
The football gods really aren't with Southern Districts at the moment, because in that second quarter we saw a heavy breeze going towards the airport end. It's gone.
Yeah, sometimes this works like that, doesn't it? Here's kicked by Farah down towards the forward line. Good strong mark taken in defence by Neil Vivi. Get the better of Jared Brennan there. Short little kick to the back pocket. Staunton on the mark. Eagles with not much on offer. Josh Cabillo would be where you'd want to go, wouldn't you?
He does.
Why not? There he is. And he takes a good mark, and he's got a runner going, and he gives it to him, Jakura. Rather, it wasn't Jakura. That was Lovett. Up forward, gets over the top of Daniel Motlop towards the boundary line and over.
Jerome Motlop has started the third quarter absolutely on fire, and it's not through flashy brilliance, it's through hard work. He just pushes the space from the stoppage.
He's a great player, he really is. He's developed this year. He's always where the action is. That's where he is now, down at that other end of the ground. He knows if he can look at him run in hard at the footy. That's him that went to ground there. He wanted so much of it, he didn't get it. Kick off the ground came from Thomas Motlop, and that forced through for a minor score. Well, you'd think one more from the Eagles are going to make this almost impossible. The lead's a big one already, 9-8 to 4-4. What can Districts find here?
Just have to load up and go straight down the middle, Charlie. They're not going to win playing out wide. They have to get the ball down the middle.
Well, he heard it, and there's his kick. It's 70 metres. Down the ground it goes. Handball out to Staunton. Staunton goes right over the top. Mitchell Taylor got to it. The ball just got away from McLaughlin. He couldn't get it. The clean-up work came from Bates to Vivi. The swerve didn't quite work. Dingo's been quiet today, didn't get it. Shannon Motlop's kick was a beauty. Just peeled it off the left boot, and he found Jared Erlinson. Erlinson goes wide out there to Wanderers. Players everywhere. There's a couple of them waiting for it. Thomas Motlop is out there. Uses the handball well to Joel Cabillo. Runs inside 50. Has a look at goals. Goes long for goals. Big kick from out there. That is a heartbreaker for Southern Districts. Joel Cabillo kicks the goal. They're in real trouble, Southern Districts now.
Yeah, absolutely, Charlie. It's going to be hard to climb back a 6-goal lead. And Joel Cabillo, he's done some pretty impressive stuff at ground level, and he found some space there, and just a super transfer of play where all the Wanderers were just lining up, running into the forward 50 to have a crack at goal. Joel Cabillo on the end of it.
Great play, the Eagles. Wow, we're seeing them in their finest tonight.
Absolutely, it certainly is premiership form, Charlie. It's going to be difficult to see who's going to be able to stop these guys.
They get the 10 goals. Just trying to remember what they kicked last week. It was about 10, wasn't it? They did, in fact, they kicked 10-6 last week. They're 10-8 now, and they've still got plenty of time left. Kick forward again's a real good one. Makes hard work for Justin Smart, though. He's chased out there by McLaughlin. He gets around onto his left boot at 50. Drops it in short. Cook. Dispossessed. Southern Districts win it inside 50. Up the middle they go. Cabillo got there with a punch. It was an effective one. Mitchell Taylor on the charge. Couldn't get it. Push out. Came in the direction there of Matt Rosier. Paper talk. Free kick picked up out of it, and Rosier's going to get it.
Yeah, he just kept working hard. Kept trying to get in front position of his opponent, and he wins the free kick.
Now where? You're stuck out on the wing. Where do you go? Staunton, Farah at the back. No quality ball for Farah. Did well to knock it. Now he runs. He wanted the handball. He didn't get it. It's a flying shot from directly out in front. That is a very, very good goal.
Classy goal by Marcus Hamilton. He kept hunting the footy, tracked the football, was clean with his pickup. And he had William Farah racing through. He could have tried and slipped the handball, but he took it upon himself, and nice snap for a goal.
So they closed the gap a little bit. In fact, they're halfway there. 5-4 to 10-8.
And this is where it's hard when you've just kicked the goal. You should be excited. You should be up and about. And this is where the crowd comes into it. Even though there is 5 goals still the difference, they need the Southern Districts supporters to help the team celebrate every single goal to give them some enthusiasm and momentum.
So the ball up for John O'Miles, and he got there and tapped it down. Whistle goes, free kick, and Southern Districts will get it. So maybe, Kieran, that pendulum of luck that you're talking about maybe has just swung a little bit towards Southern Districts.
First time tonight, Charlie.
Yeah, they'll be saying that too, I reckon. Here's the kick inside 50, and it finds Dean Staunton.
Well, Southern Districts put Jared Brennan in the middle, and he's such a presence, and he's such a big body that he wrapped up the area around the football and won the free kick. So I think if Southern Districts are going to get back in this game, Brennan has to go through the midfield.
Sam Christie stands on the mark, about 35 metres out from goal as Dean Staunton crosses the 50. This is a really important kick for his team. Gets hold of it, goes for goal, he delivers. It's a good goal, it's a good kick. Staunton delivers, they've got a couple in a hurry.
Goal umpire did not move, and I think that might be the first time they've actually kicked back-to-back goals for tonight, and they can certainly start to build some momentum, but come back to the centre clearances. This is where Wanderers have been very dangerous.
4 goals to the Eagles in this quarter, 3 now to Southern Districts. Staunton, Hamilton and Farah all kicking goals for the Eagles. Aaron Motlop, Simon Bates, Joel Cabillo, Jerome Motlop. All important clearance here. 17 minutes gone, third term. Wanderers up by 12 at half time. They led 6-6 to 3 at quarter time rather. 6-6 to 3-4 at half time. And holding on here 10-8 to 6-4. John O'Miles with the tap down. Southern Districts can get the footy. Who got it? Jared Brennan. Staunton got beyond him. Merging with the footy was Sam Christie. Did it very, very well. Down towards the forward. A little push out from the back there, umpire. Did he see it? Surely. No, he didn't. So the ball goes to Seaton. Seaton kicked one from this distance at the other end of the ground. Loads up. He's not going to kick this one, but he's going to put it in the danger area. Punched away by the defence. Ball lands on the ground. McLaughlin could have gone for it. Gets up to Cook. Cook goes to ground, got the handball away along the ground. Found Daniel Motlop. Looks up at goal. Bangs away. Minor score.
Yeah, in the Southern District's defence, even though they were running with the footy, the two teammates, Southern District teammates, stopped running with their player to give him a hand. Need to keep running with him, provide him options with handball.
Very long kick. Bowden out there. Thomas Motlop got the best of it, wins it, sends it back from where it came. Lands on the ground. Daniel Motlop, I think it is, picks it up, snaps it, goal. Shannon Motlop, rather, was a goal. So he's got 3 today. You don't give him too many chances.
Can't help feel a little bit sorry for Ed Barlow. He's doing a mountain of work in the back line there. He kicked in and a thumping kick, Charlie. It went about 70 metres to clear the football from the back line, but it comes straight back in. He has to try and punch the footy away again, but the ball lands in Shannon Motlop's lap. Left foot snap goal.
Big quarter from Wanderers here. They've kicked 5. Southern Districts have kicked 3. 11-9 to 6-4. Wow, that's a mountain in front of them at the 19-minute mark of the third term, Southern Districts. They are the minor premiers. They finished on top. They had the week off. Wanderers had to play St Mary's, so they primed themselves for this game. Kicked out of the forward line. There was a trip in all of that, says the umpire.
Kicking in danger. So Brennan again.
Jared Brennan.
I reckon he's got the last 3 clearances for Southern Districts out of the centre.
Gives it to Dingo. Just a little bit tentative tonight, Keegan Dingo, isn't he?
Yeah, I reckon Daniel Motlop's done something to his hammy. He's coming straight off.
Paper talk. Gee, he gave away a handball to Randall, who was under all sorts of pressure. Ball lands on the ground. Marcus Hamilton, who kicked a goal a short time ago, couldn't get it. So Daniel Motlop will go down to Kieran. What can you tell us, Kieran? What's it look like?
It doesn't seem too serious, but he looks like he might be going into the rooms. He has to be very careful because it was his hamstring that kept him out for a long time at the end of the season.
Yep, he's heading off to the room. Have a check of that. So mark taken there by Matt Payne.
And we've, I guess, I've been a little bit negative in terms of Payne's performance so far, but he's such a quality player in the NEFL competition for Aspley, and we all know, and he's used to this ground. He's played here plenty of times over the years, and he's just a quality player. So we expect him to kick this and breathe some life back into this resurgence from Southern Districts.
So he's all but directly in front, and he's swung it out to the right and left it there. That was not a good kick. Minor score. When Southern Districts need goals, they get a point. Here goes the hard run of Simon Bates. No, he turned the turbo on and then turned it off after about 20 metres. Kick out. Oh, good strong mark taken back there by James Wall. He is the Wall. Cross half back, or half forward rather, for his team. Kicks it inside 50. Farah came late, was never going to get there. So Wanderers scramble to kick out towards the wing. Jerome Motlop pushed out of it by Dingo, couldn't keep it in. Jerome Motlop thought about, I'm not sure what, but he's
he's up and about,
Charlie.
He
isn't he?
He is bouncing on top of his feet and on top of the ground, and he is very dangerous.
As Neil Vivi comes on, is the throw in. John O'Miles working hard. Brennan got the tap, did it really well. Thomas Motlop scrambled to kick to Dingo. They got him high. He's going to get the free kick. Keegan Dingo, that might fire him up. He hasn't really lit the wick tonight, I don't think. Keegan Dingo punches it out towards Staunton, went right over the top. He had 2 to beat, went to the boundary line.
And when the ball comes in sort of slowly like that, the Wanderers' defence just, they seem to know where each other are and seem to be able to fill the space to be able to zone off their opponent, direct opponent, and help a teammate out.
Brennan again with the tap down, doing all the hard work. Wanted a little bit then, but couldn't pick it up, Glenn Randall. Out through Braden McLean. Kick forward by the Eagles up towards the wing and then rolls away. It's Jared Erlinson doing some work back there. He's ready to come back on, is Jerome Motlop. Still full of vinegar, I reckon.
We see Josh Cabillo come back on as well, so they got some handy rotations.
So Brennan and Vivi, good contest. Keegan Dingo caught. Nailed by Jerome Motlop. That's a super tackle. He loves it, doesn't he? He's having a ball. He wants it again. He wants to tackle again.
And I'm not sure whether Aaron Motlop heard the whistle or not, but he seemed to play on. And that's certainly been a directive from the coaching staff for Wanderers tonight. At all costs, get the ball moving quickly. If you've got a free kick, there's been some slick hands to get the ball moving forward into space.
Now some work to be done in defence here by Ed Barlow. Did well. Out through Robert Copeland. Has not had a good game, Copeland. That sums it up. Get out of bounds on the full, and Thomas Motlop gets the resultant free kick at the interchange area. His team's in control of the footy match, 11-9 to 6-5. 24 minutes about to tick past in his third term, goes backwards with the kick, links it up through Braden McLean.
This is what they do, Charlie. They by going backwards, they drag the defence, drag the opposition up the ground to build that space behind the play. And they're very clever at doing that. And obviously you see Thomas Motlop dropping the mark. The ball's a little bit slippery through sweat.
A high throw in, John O'Miles wrestling there. BB wins the kick out. Dingo got to it, couldn't pick it up. McGough stolen by the other, number 17. Sam Christie goes forward with the kick for the Eagles, lands on the ground. Here gives a chance to Nathan Jakura if he can get to it. He can't. They run away from him. Lionel Ogden's a quality defender. His kick is good. Gets it to Michael Bowden. Bowden emerges from the wing. Gets onto that left boot. Powers it up towards the half-forward line. Good kick from him. Plenty of run here from Sutton Districts. Ball comes back inboard, straight into the hands of Zane Carter at 50. Carter over the top to Farah. Oh, the build-up was terrific. Play on, says the umpire. To Paper Talk. Snaps at goal. Misses out to the right.
Oh, they needed that one desperately. The build-up was sensational, and unfortunately the kick coming into Farah was touched, and he had to play on. But Paper Talk, that's why he's in the team. He needs to kick them goals.
Daniel Motlop has been clear. No problems. He's back onto the ground, lining up a full forward.
Good to hear. Short kick comes out. Mitchell Taylor to Josh Cabillo. Takes the mark in front of Glenn Randall at the 50-metre defensive. So Josh Cabillo now measures short, steadies the game down. Braden McLean has plenty of it, goes backwards. Right back into defence, into the hands of Lovett. Lovett's kick on the search for Keelan Fijo. Finds him, but he couldn't complete the mark. Lost it. Umpire picks the free kick out. It'll go to Fijo. Has it for the Eagles, just backward of the wing. Calling in is inside is Sam Christie. And also Lovett. And goes to Lovett. And Lovett can come right out to Mitchell Taylor. And he gets him. Now he can explode off the half-back line. Mitchell Taylor comes out towards the wing with a super kick. Links it up with Nook Mansell. Onto the left boot he goes. Chips it to 50. Gets at the back. Oh, Daniel Turner had a chance to pick it up. They get to him.
You talk about footy gods, Charlie, on the three-quarter time siren. Normally that would be the right time for Southern Districts to make a rotation when the ball's on the far side of the other of the field. But on that occasion, it caught them out because the Wanderers are able to use the transfer of play in every inch of grass on this oval.
Big quarter from the Eagles. They kick 5 goals 3 to 3 goals 2, and they stretch their half-time lead to a big one. 11-9 to 6-6. Jared, what do you make of it?
Well, Jerome Motlop was the catalyst for Wanderers increasing their lead, Charlie. He was just everywhere, creating space with run, kicking goals, just been an absolute nuisance for the opposition. And better players for Southern Districts. Again, Barlow has been superb down back, and he needs some support. And I think Dingo did get a few possessions late in that quarter, but Brennan has to play them through the midfield. He's the only player that's getting the centre clearances.
So the Eagles were up by 12 at quarter time, 20 at half time. They stretch it to 33 at quarter time, and they lead the minor premiers 11-9 to 6-6.
Weather is part of life in the Territory. It's unpredictable when it comes and in what it leaves behind. That's why Territorians need the right insurance cover for their home and contents. Local knowledge is important. Talk to TIO about Territory home insurance for Territory conditions. So before it happens, call 131 TIO or visit tiofi.com.au. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more! Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Fucking play. We played 150, 180, 200, 3 games. You fucking can't compete. You won't play for this fucking footy club. You understand me? If you can't find a fucking opponent, you won't fucking play. It has been disgraceful watching them blokes run around on their own, and no one wants to fuck anybody, put any fucking pressure on them. No one. Yeah, you hit some cunt with a note. You're not fucking showing a fucking any up at the moment. Now you get out there and you bind together as one, fuck the structure, bind together as one and you find something together. Hard, ruthless footy that you built 18 rounds on the back of. That is you. Ruthless footy, hands on the footy first, split and spread, composed, right, in one side, out the other, movement. Turn the ball over in transition, you find a fucking blue and gold jumper. You got me?
So Wanderers still there in their huddle. They'd be feeling pretty confident at the moment. Sutton Districts have broken. They're making their way back out onto the field. 11-9 to 6-6 favours the Eagles, the reigning premiers. Let's go down to Kieran Davis.
Well, Shannon Rusker, he thought that that quarter was disgraceful from his team. He took aim at everyone, said that if you're not willing to do the team thing, I don't care if you played 150 games or 50 games or 5 games, you're not going to be playing for this club anymore. He wants them to bring a brand of physicality into this last quarter, what they've built the last 18 rounds on, and try and run over the top of Wanderers, because at the moment he's just not happy with the way the team is operating.
Wow. Gee, he gave him a spray. I can sense his frustration though.
Absolutely.
But are they playing badly, or are they just not allowed to play the game they want to play?
Yeah, well, they're certainly up against a pretty good opposition, Charlie. But yeah, you're right. You need to challenge your players. I think Shannon Rusker's got every right to lay the law down, and they're just the physicality side of things. The effort in the contest hasn't been there And it starts in the middle. We haven't seen that from Southern Districts over the 3 quarters yet.
Well, let's see what they can make a bit of a mark here and send a message to St Mary's. It's likely that's the team they'll line up with unless they can pull off a miracle here. They've got about 25 minutes to do it. It's going to be a tough task. They've got to kick probably 6 goals to win it and keep Wanderers scoreless. I don't know if they're capable of doing that. Now, what's happened here? The Wanderers might have had 1 player too many out on the field, did they? They did. Goodness me, that was a lucky escape, really, wasn't it? Gosh.
You don't see that too often, I tell you. Oh, hang on, what's going on?
Well, he's going back on, so Wanderers, he might have looked up because there's only 3 on the interchange bench. He might have thought, well, I needed to be there. Certainly only 3 on the Wanderers bench that we can see.
Is anyone hiding in the air conditioning room for Wanderers?
The front, I think it might be Justin Smart out the front of the air-conditioned rooms.
Okay, that's that 4th
all right,
player.
so we've done the maths.
Everything works out all right.
Okay.
Out towards Duffy. Kick forward. Big fly there was Farah. Good clean-up work came from Christie. Well, whatever Southern Districts throw at the Eagles in 3 quarters of footy, the Eagles have been equal to it. And there's the littlest man tackling the very powerful Ed Barlow, and he did it wonderfully well to Simon Bates. He's done it for his teammates. It finishes up with Jakura. Jakura goes forward down towards Jerome Motlop. Jakura onto the ball again. Handball over the top. He wants someone to run onto it. Bowden does the clean-up work. Spills to Cook. Cook with it in front of him. Can he get his boot on it? He can, but the angle was too sharp, and he got it through for a minor score.
What a tackle by Bates. Ed Barlow's just all power and strength, but Bates just technically nailed him.
He said, you're going nowhere tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a super tackle, wasn't it? Mitchell Taylor at the back with the little fist on the footy. They knock it along the boundary line. And the closing work of Mitchell Taylor was terrific. Caused the turnover really in the end because it went straight to Lovett.
They just zone off so well, Charlie.
Are they favourites for the flag on what you're seeing tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a flawless sort of performance so far. They've controlled most of the football, most of the possession from the start of the game, and I think they didn't quite make the most of their opportunities up forward and kept Southern Districts in the game, and that was it basically. Wanderers were dictating terms, and Southern Districts just weren't in it.
So ball gets to the ground here, gets out towards Staunton. No, it didn't get that far. Districts go forward with it. Kennard, they got into his back. He's going to get the kick inside 50. Well, they got over the shoulder, rather, is the call from the umpire. Take your pick.
Yeah, front position, out in front. That's how you want it.
Had a little peep up, and then he decided he couldn't go that distance, and he just passed it off and put it straight into the hands of Matt Duffy. So Duffy a chance here. This is a big kick. He must kick a goal here for Districts to have any chance at all. It's a very slight chance. They need a run of goals. Can it start with Duffy? And he bangs away at goal, and he misses out to the left.
The build-up was certainly better with the kick into Matt Kennard, who was playing in front and had the opportunity to first grab the footy. But they need to kick their goals.
Kick out wide for Joel Cabillo. Good clean up, Erlinson. Draws the defender. Aaron Motlop. So that's a rather crude tackle there from Vivi.
Yeah, the arms certainly come over the shoulder there, and Matt Rosier winning the free kick. He's certainly been one of their better players.
So here he is, Matt Rosier. Looks off to his left, looks off to his right. Everyone's covered. He can go short if he wants, but he goes instead down towards where there's a nest of Wanderers players. Good tackle put on there and by McGough. Holds it up. Nowhere for Braden McLean to go.
And he wins the free kick, Charlie. High.
Braden McLean now out towards the wing. Why not go towards the number 15, Jerome Motlop? He just wants to beat everyone tonight. Bowden couldn't close on him, kicked it down towards the forward line. Wrestling effort down there by Thomas Motlop. Has a look at goals and then went too far, maybe a couple of steps too far and missed. Kicked a minor score.
Yeah, he was running away from the goals, and the angle wasn't quite right for him to kick it on his preferred right foot. But he certainly won the battle against Payne on that occasion.
Matt Payne's kick out towards 50-metre line. Here's McGough. Tries to work it through James Wall. You mentioned Wall. We hadn't had much of him throughout the season, you were saying, or heard much of him throughout the season?
No, and it sort of raises the question, Charlie, whether the fly-ins for Southern Districts is creating a bit of a problem and contributing to the performance, I suppose. So they obviously had the week off coming into the game, and the fly-ins might have needed this run leading into the next week's games, but they're going to have to come in to play St Mary's.
So if you're a fly-in and you got the week off, you wouldn't come back for training, would you? You'd stay away for the couple of weeks and then come back. Maybe come back late in that second week.
That's right.
Have a training run and then play. Lionel Ogden paid the mark. Bowden got over his head. They're going to close on him. Jerome Motlop is two people today. One's Jerome and one's Motlop. He had two to beat, and he's beaten them, and he got it to Thomas, and Thomas is going to kick a goal. He should run up and give Jerome a hug. He was just fantastic in setting that up. Good goal, Thomas.
Absolutely, and when you got space for your forward line players, and Thomas Motlop can go one-on-one with his direct opponent, there's not too many that are going to stop him. And I was pointing out going back about 2 minutes, Charlie, Thomas Motlop has sprinted from the back line to drag Matthew Payne, who should be playing up forward, but he's having to play down back on Thomas because he just runs forward.
So Jerome Motlop, he's actually gone back now. He'll be on Michael Bowden. That'll be an interesting matchup. Here's Brennan with the win out of the middle. He's tried hard today, put that kick out towards the wing. Good gather there by Matt Payne, and then the kick's out of bounds on the full. Just about sums up the night for the Crocodiles, I reckon.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're look, I thought their game plan was right in the first half, and they certainly unsettled Wanderers for a period of time, but they just haven't been able to back it up with the skill and the execution.
Simon Bates, Josh Cabillo, strong in front, gets pushed in the back.
He's just been a super player for them tonight, and it's probably a good opportunity to say that we asked where Josh was playing this year, and Dave Cubis sends in that he will be playing for Aberfield in Victoria in the Essendon League in the season coming up.
Okay.
There you go, Dave.
Good on you, Dave. Here's the handball to Keegan Dingo. And he got the handball away to a running player there, and Ed Barlow picks it up in the corridor, backward of the centre circle, pumps it out wide. Long kick from him. Mark taken out there by James Wall. Comes powering into the 50-metre line. Off hands. Eagles to clean up. They'll run it out wide. Josh Cabillo on the end of it. Another touch for him. Looks up, sees Aaron Motlop on the wing. Doesn't want to go to him. Going to go backwards instead.
This is their key to attack, Charlie. They go backwards and then they just suck everyone up the ground, and it just opens up for them.
They just used the ball so well. Here's Bates. Chips it out towards the wing. Thomas Motlop got over the top for him, but he has time to recover. Ogden will beat him to the footy. And Thomas Motlop come up with a bit of magic here. Ogden's doing pretty well. He's advanced at about 30 or 40 metres. In comes Bates, wins it and gives it to Thomas Motlop. He did very well.
Two on one.
They work well, didn't they? Out through Joel Cabillo. Good kick forward, straight into the hands of Nathan Jakura.
And they've just pinpointed that pass. So 2-on-1 for Southern Districts on that occasion, but the skills have been that good. It's just been pinpoint towards Jakura.
Cook went over the top. Daniel Motlop there. He's always dangerous if he can get to the footy. Can he get to it? Kicks it off the ground, kicks the goal.
No way.
He can do anything. Daniel Motlop gets the hug from Jerome, and he turned nothing into a goal.
Yeah, and he's again he's limping from the ground, Charlie. So I wouldn't have thought it'd be too smart for Daniel to participate in any more of this game. But What do you say? What do you say? Was it luck? Was it a fluke? Was it the football gods? He had no right to kick that goal, but it went through.
Now he copped a little bit from the Southern Districts mob as he went past, and he did comment, but he didn't go on with it. And Aaron Motlop about to come on in his place. He's a super player, Kieran, isn't he, Daniel Motlop? That was a great goal from him.
Definitely, it's just one of those players that can make something out of nothing. Has all the experience that you could ever want in a forward line.
Wheatra out towards Bates. Here's a good foot race. Bates up against Marcus Hamilton. Bates can't get to it. Paper talk on the clean-up. Gets it, goes along the boundary line, finds Kennard. They look almost pedestrian, don't they, Southern Districts?
Yeah, well, I mean, they've just been led to the football. And it's hard to win the football or win the free kicks or set up any structures if you're second to the footy.
Nook Mansell out towards the wing. Bowden and Jerome Motlop. I was desperately willing that ball to stay in the field of play.
I know what you're saying. It is a good matchup. We'd like to see these two players go one-on-one in a bit of space.
Well, they're not going to close the gap, you wouldn't think, from here. 10.5 minutes, well, 11 minutes gone just about. And they've made a little inroad into it, Southern Districts. Handball out to Nook Mansell. Runs and then gets the kick away. Cook in front position. Didn't get to it. Lands on the ground. Hard running there. Keelan Fijo couldn't get it. Southern Districts come away from defence. Up the corridor they go. This is the run and commitment they needed for the match. Punching kick. Drops in a little short. Leaves on the ground. Randall not a chance. In goes Vivi to smother the ball and hold it up. Kennard there with Aaron Motlop. Ball somehow finds its way out to Keegan Dingo. Bangs the kick forward, gets flattened as he got the kick away. Mark taken inside 50. Handball went out wide to Wall. Wall goes over the top with a handball. Gave it off to Barlow. Barlow sent it to the goal square. Wanderers wait there and clean up. They can't do anything wrong. Josh Cabillo wins it in the back pocket. Looks up and sees Shannon Motlop. Across half back. Will go with a short left foot kick to VV and give it to him. And VV takes the mark and steadies it down. This is Wanderers in full flight. Wanderers in absolute control here.
He's a bit of a masterclass now, Charlie.
Mitchell Taylor booms it long. Waiting at the back, Jerome Motlop. It didn't come to him. It was cut off by Jared Brennan, amongst the better players for his team tonight. Kennard, hands on it, won it, back the other way. Got the handball away, lost it to the boundary line. They closed him down, Kennard. There was nowhere for him to go.
And to rub salt into the wound, Charlie.
Been pinged.
He's been pinged. And this is what I mean. Wanderers just will go on with it. They will just play football and play on and run and use the football as quickly as they can to get it to space.
Sleeth got there and knocked that away from Adam Cook. Hadn't kicked a goal tonight, Adam Cook, but he's been busy. Got to the footy quite a bit. They've looked for him, the Eagles, on many occasions.
Yep, you'd still have him in your team. He's done a mountain of work. What he has done is taken away a good defender to allow the likes of Shannon Motlop and Jerome Motlop and these kind of guys to sort of get the third or fourth defender.
That was the 360 advantage played here. Jared Erlinson lines up, bangs away at goal, misses everything. Probably regrets having that kick, you'd think.
Yep, he's a better player than that.
13 and a bit minutes gone. Eagles are going to play grand final footy again. They did it last year, we remind you, finished 5th, 9 wins and 9 losses, and then went right through the final series unbeaten, as they might do this year, except they, from 5th position, rather, they had to play a lot more games. They finished 3rd this year, and they've only had to play a couple to get there. They had a win against Saints, and now win against Southern Districts. They are cock-a-hoop.
I reckon they're going to have to organise a game for next week, Charlie. So whether they invite a Thunder squad maybe, or maybe Buffaloes or Nycliffe to have another run, because I just think that the week off is not going to work in their favour.
For the Eagles.
That's right.
They like to play all the time, don't they? Brennan's kick was cut off by Shannon Motlop's kick. 3 today, 2 in the first, 1 in the third. Backward to Jerome Motlop. He's had an outstanding game, I think, Jerome Motlop.
Now they're really following Dean Riola's advice here and really controlling the tempo, slowing the game down because they know they have control.
They might as well do this. They're not going to lose from where they are. Leave some petrol in the tank. What do you need a hard hit out here?
For Wanderers, no, I think they're well and truly within their rights to start kicking the ball around.
They've probably had 10 possessions here. Jerome Motlop's had about 6 of them. And he's going to get 7 here. Wins it again. Steps one. He can do anything. Touches down. Draws them in. Goes with the kick. Up high. Up towards the wing. Brennan. He and Brennan have been playing kick to kick tonight for a while, haven't they? Brennan goes to ground. Going to get a free kick out of it all. Beavie very nicely gave it back to the champ.
That's the one thing, Southern Districts, nothing's been easy. They haven't been able to win easy football, easy possession. Wanderers have just harassed and tackled, and the defence has been outstanding.
Carter and Duffy, and then to Brennan, who went up forward with it, knocked over the boundary line. Bring up to 16 minutes, 13-11 to 6-7.
Do you think maybe Shannon Rusker maybe should have moved Will Farrer up the ground a bit just to see if his athleticism could impact it? Because at full forward, he hasn't seen much of the ball at all.
Yeah, he stays back on that full forward. He does go up there looking for kicks, though, doesn't he? I think he's given the licence to run. He'll get up to sometimes as far as the 50-metre line. If you put him at centre half forward, then his lead is taken out of it because he's then running backwards, isn't he, most of the time?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Kieran raises a good point. It's something to consider, but what the issue is, the ball's not being won up the ground. So
Yeah.
that's what that needs to concentrate on.
So here, gathered in by the busy Nathan Jakura. He's had a good game tonight. Matt Payne. Paper talk. Series of handballs off to Kennard. Snaps away and misses out to the right. It's a dirty day for Southern Districts. Not working at all. They'd want to put that. They wouldn't want to have a look at this game on replay, I wouldn't have thought.
Yep. I wonder if anyone took a recording of the three-quarter time speed.
So Eagles just milking the clock here, running it down. They're comfortably in front. They're not going to take any risks. They don't want any injuries. Playing keepies off. Out towards the wing on that far side. Cleverly picked up there too by Joel Cabillo. Brings it back with a handball. Motlop. Shannon Motlop out there. It's got loose players everywhere, haven't they? Southern District's just a well-beaten side at the moment. Not much they can do about this.
And we just got Lovett just strolling into the forward 50 with no one on him, and he should get on the end of this to kick a goal. But 3-on-1 contest, gets the handball up. Jerome Motlop.
That's the post.
The impressive thing about Jerome's game tonight is the work rate. He has just worked himself into the game, and when you're at that level, things go for you.
I thought tonight he couldn't do anything wrong. That was his only little mistake, I reckon.
Yeah, well,
Hit the post.
He had some opportunities early, and more times right than wrong.
That's a mark. Umpire's going to pay that. Southern District's mark at 50. Josh Cabillo there, but it was a good strong mark taken by Fred Sleeth. Swings it out wide. Finds his mate out there and Glenn Randall. And Randall's kick was for Ogden, and Ogden couldn't come. So they just messed it up, didn't they? Untidy.
That's right, and you look at the pattern of play. All the Southern Districts players were doing the right thing, running the 45s, running down the corridor to link up with their forward line players. Now they've had to stop, double back, try to get back to the ball up because the kick was too far in front and went out of bounds.
So it's VB that's got the free kick. He's out there on the wing, Neil VB. To be a much closer game. Mitchell Taylor runs from behind. Saints were doing a bit of this late in their game against Nightcliff earlier on, just getting those runners coming from behind them. 13-12 to 6-8. Most people expect the ball carrier to run themselves into position. It's when a side's confident that they can actually do that, can't they? Because they don't get caught out of position. Keelan Fijo takes the mark. Josh Cabillo there sees it roll towards the boundary line. Nearly 20 minutes, 13-12 to 6-8. Did you expect the blowout to be what it has been, Jared?
No, not at all. And like I said, I tipped actually Southern Districts to win this game because I think they've been sort of the ultimate professionals during the season. They've set up this opportunity from the very first round. Obviously, they're minor premiers, but it just hasn't worked for them. And sometimes the week off is a curse. But the work rate of Wanderers have just allowed everything to fall their way, and we see Duncan Seaton with a free kick right in front of goals.
Got one high, put him to ground. He's got up rather gingerly. That's him walking back there with the footy from directly out in front, so he's going to extend the lead. Whether it's by 1 point or 6, you would think likely to be the latter. Because the angle is not a problem. He did kick a goal, didn't he, in the second term at this end from a much sharper angle, but that one just banged straight through the middle, so he becomes a multiple goal kicker and only the third one for the Eagles. He joins Aaron Motlop and Shannon Motlop.
So that's 10 multiple goal or different goal kickers for Wanderers, and they're certainly what they do as well as a team is they share the workload, so they don't rely on one particular player. And they've got so many that can bob up and kick a goal or find some space or create a spark.
They had 8 goal kickers last week in that 10-point win over St Mary's, so they do share them around. You're absolutely right.
That's because the biggest weapon is space. So if you're prepared to run, in which most of them do, and you get to space, more than likely you'll get it on the end of the football and have a crack at goal.
Well, they've sent Will Farrer up the ground, as Kieran asked for, but they've got him doing some ruck work in there. So he's in the middle. He hasn't got much of the footy today. He's kicked 3 goals to be the leading goal kicker for his team, but they haven't used the ball well enough to give him a chance. Eagles doing better with their kick inside 50. Knocked away by Michael Bowden. He continues to run. Jared Brennan on the clean-up. Whistle goes. Going to be free kick here. It's going to be a Southern Districts free kick.
Been niggle all game, and Shannon Motlop's retaliated there, and he's going in the book for a strike on Copeland.
Well, it's definitely gone in the book. He's trying to explain it. That would be a savage blow for the Eagles, and crazy in a game late on when there's nothing to be gained. The game Absolutely. Is in the bank. It would be the worst possible outcome. We'll have to see what happens with that. I didn't see it, I must say. Do you see what happened?
It was a retaliation, but that's what normally happens. See how that unfolds during the week.
So high up and under kick this time by Marcus Hamilton. Down forward. A couple of belated goals might give Districts a bit of faith going into next week's game, because their confidence would be just absolutely shattered here tonight by a team that's red hot.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to do some soul searching and pretty quickly, and again get on the track. They've certainly proven themselves throughout the season, Charlie. Obviously, minor premiers, so they've got the cattle, but they're going to have to work out a better way to put it together.
So it draws to the end, and it's been a comprehensive win by Wanderers. In the end, running out very handy winners by 51 points, 14-12 to 6 goals, 8. That is a big win in a qualifying final.
Yeah, absolutely. The first half, even though Wanderers had most of the football, Southern Districts were able to stay in touch to make it a game of it. But that, I guess the writing was on the wall within 15 seconds of the third quarter when Jerome Motlop, I go back, Josh Cabillo wins the clearance, kicks forward. I think it was a Shannon Motlop handball to Jerome Motlop in goal within 15 seconds, and that's sort of where the writing was on the wall.
So Wanderers were 6-6 to 3-4 at half time. They kicked after that 8 goals to 3 in the second half. So it was just the most comprehensive win for Southern Districts. So we want to get down as soon as we can to Kieran Davis. He's walking out there. We're I'm not sure Shannon Rusker's going to talk to him. I'm not sure whether he'll even approach Shannon Rusker. But while he's doing that...
Daniel Motlop's agreed to have an interview with me, so I'm hoping to get him in a sec.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, we'll get some thoughts from you, Jared.
Yeah, look, some of the better players, I thought, we'll start with Southern Districts. Barlow just battled all game, and he was the best for me. Brennan was a very close second because the only attacking or winning of the football that Brennan was involved in normally turned into something positive. Rosier for third and Ogden fourth in my sort of best players. I know a couple of the Southern Districts players had tagging jobs, and I reckon they did pretty well, so they might feature pretty highly in the district's best players. But they were mine for Southern Districts. On the Wanderers side of things, Josh Cabillo was just outstanding. Jerome Motlop, I think, sneaks in the second spot on a pretty dominant second half. Shannon Motlop and Thomas Motlop. So if you're a Motlop, you pretty much get your name in the best players.
You're going to. Well, if you've got 5 of you in there, chances are you're going to be amongst them. But that was a very good win for Wanderers, and they'll go into the grand final full of confidence. 2 years in a row, they're going for back-to-back, something they haven't done since back in the 80s when the great Steve Bulliabala coached them, and they had those 2 wins, as I said earlier on, against St Mary's. I think it was 81-82. And might have been 82-83, but earlier on in the 1980s, and it was a terrific era for Wanderers then. But they're back doing just about the same thing now. Good crowd on hand here. The kids are going out to have a kick. Southern Districts are about to come off and face their coach and then work out what they're going to do for next week, because St Mary's wait for them in a preliminary final. We can go down to Kieran Davis, has Daniel Motlop with him.
Daniel, what are your thoughts on that game? Such an emphatic victory against the minor premiers must give you a lot of confidence going into the grand final.
Yeah, look, it does. But we've been playing on edge for the last 6 weeks, and we knew we had to lift the standard, and we got 2 weeks to really train hard and be ready for a strong St Mary's or a strong Southern District side. So it's we're still a long way to go.
When you came off in that last quarter, was that just sort of resting yourself because you knew the game was won?
Yeah. Look, body's getting a lot older now, so it's great. I had the luxury of just resting there, which was good. So, I've got 2 weeks to get ready, and yeah.
Who would you rather play in the grand final, St Mary's or Southern Districts?
Oh, look, I don't really know, to tell you the truth. They're both going to be a really tough game, and they're going to be hunting us. Everyone's hunting us at the moment, so we're going to have to raise the standard. We're number 1 defence side in the comp now, I reckon, after keeping them to 44 points, and that's what we pride our game on this year, defence, and our attack's good enough. So,
thanks for your time, Daniel.
She was good tonight too, Daniel Motlop. He's a confident player. There's Neil Vevey. Rather, it's Mitchell Taylor, because he's the milestone man today, isn't he? He's getting carried off, and they've rewarded him today.
He's got a lot of support in town, Charlie, especially around the Bagot community, and that he's a great character for Wanderers, and much love and long servant of the club.
All right, well, we're not going to talk too much about next week's preliminary final, because we'll be here for it. It will be Southern Districts up against St Mary's, and promises to be a pretty good game. That team there, Wanderers, are on their way to another grand final. They'll be here back in a fortnight, and we're really looking forward to sharing that with you as well. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage tonight, Jared. Nice to work with you as ever.
Same, likewise, Charlie. We look forward to the next 2 week of finals, where we should have some very close games.
Kieran Davis will be with us as well. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage. It's the Eagles home tonight in a pretty emphatic way. 52-point winners. They won 14-12 to Southern District 6-8.